What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. And I think bears have arrived, meaning that now I think it's high time where the market is going to take a pause, a healthy correction, or maybe goes into a consolidation mode. We have been seeing massive action in mid caps all throughout, and today large caps literally jittered and they got broken away really badly. And there were a bunch of mid cap stocks also which got beaten badly. Again, very sector specific action that is, that has been the need of the hour. Healthcare, again, as per our discussion, did extremely well. So we're going to talk about that. But I will make it very clear that from tomorrow, I am going to be lighter on my positions. That's one. I'm going to be thinking twice before I go long on a particular stock, because there have been stocks which are extended. Today, we saw stocks breaking out of their bases and then falling back, rolling over completely, which shows that the market is getting exhausted a little bit. The market is tired, and I think there needs to be a fresh change of perspective. So my stance from bullish goes to neutral right now. I'm not going to be actively shorting stocks, but I will definitely double check my longs, and I'll be only going long on those plays which are the highest probability in the best sector available. So with that being said, let's quickly start with our discussion. So let me just quickly go through this particular section. So just give me a minute and then let's get started. So first things first, I mean, I definitely have to talk about this. So this is Fortis over here for you. And we've been seeing multiple times that healthcare stocks, in the last video also I spoke about that healthcare stocks are something that are expected to do really well, and that has been the case. So let me just quickly try to show this to you on what happened for the stocks that were discussed yesterday, like in the previous watch list. So let's quickly have a look at those, and I'm just going to open up the 15th June, watch list for all of you guys. So this is the 15th June watch list, and you can start seeing that there has been a lot of action. So you just see Polymed, right? So we had discussed this, Polymed doing nice little things, breaking out, and then up 12, 13%, from the highs. So outstanding action with Polymed, and we had discussed the stock yesterday. So brilliant action, Polymed. Same thing in Apollo Microsystems, up 5%, another upper circuit. Dawat was not in the list, but I'm going to be covering it today. So we have taken a position in Dawat, and what I believe is that this could be a weekly base break. So Dawat is, at a very exciting area on the charts right now. So I'm going to expect something very, very nice to happen in Dawat. So definitely, eyes on that. And disclaimer, we have a position in Dawat. We took a BTST in Dawat today, anticipating another move higher. So that's about that. So that was not in the list. But next up is Fortis. So Fortis up, I think another 4.5% again from the healthcare space. We spoke about healthcare multiple times. So again, healthcare was, definitely really, really interesting. Next up is Ingersoll Rand. So I think we also had a discussion about this stock, yesterday, that this is something that I will definitely take a long on, and we took a trade in Ingersoll Rand, and I'll just tell you where we decided to capture. So we captured the move here. We are still holding this position overnight, and we're going to expect another leg of move from Ingersoll Rand. Very, very nice closing. I mean, extremely, extremely strong. Nice little strength. Coming from Ingersoll Rand. So outstanding from that perspective. Next up, I'm going to be having a look at DBL. So let's just quickly open that up. So DBL, we were expecting a continuation in Dilip Buildcon, happened, but from the highs, the stock retreated 3%, and that is what I'm trying to talk about. The market is kind of getting exhausted. So DBL did not really continue its run up. Manyavar, again, another stock that we had discussed, 2.5% up. So we were discussing since the start of this consolidation, doing really well. VIP Clothing, Sula, Dodla Dairy. Dodla Dairy, we took a trade and we got stopped out. So we took a trade. It went up all the way until these highs around 570, 571, and then ultimately it stopped us out today towards the end of the day. And that is, again, same thing. Getting exhaustion is something that I'm witnessing now in a bunch of stocks. Next up, Inox Wind. This is still on my radar. This just broke out, and again, just look at the high, 156, and then closing at 150. So again, 4% off the highs, and this is the exhaustion that again I'm talking about. So more or less, all of these stocks were in the radar, and they were doing really well from yesterday's watch list. Now, let us talk about the stocks that are in focus for today. And I have a lot of stocks just to show you the weakness that the market has. And I have only a few, number of stocks which actually are good for a position for the next day. I have made it very clear that I am not going to be very actively, creating positions in the market right now. I feel the markets are extended, lots of sectors, lots of areas where there is a lot of, stocks which are, after their breakout, after their impulsive moves, they are consolidating, moving again, and then this is where a lot of retail traders start getting trapped into these names, and that is what we don't have to do. So let me quickly start off with the list, right? So first up is Lupin. So Lupin again coming out of this range, pharma stock, doing nice little stuff over here. So interesting enough to watch Lupin for tomorrow. This is one stock that I'll be watching out for an intraday play, no swings, intraday play. If we get an opportunity, we're going to play it out. Otherwise, let it be. Next up is Apollo Hospitals. We had a discussion about the stock yesterday, also again from the hospital, hospital and healthcare sector. Now, with that being said, let me just show you what these hospital stocks did after our discussion yesterday. Just look at this, right? So I'll just show it to you. Artemis Medicare up 8%, Narayana Hridayalaya up 5.5%, Fortis up 4.5%, Apollo up 4%, Aster DM up 2%, Vimta Labs up 1.5%. So I mean, we've have discussion that healthcare is going to be the next best play. So even if there is a pullback or a correction, I would definitely recommend you to kind of watch out for healthcare stocks. I think they're going to do really well. Up this and I think a bunch of pharma stocks, and those are going to be something to watch out for. Now, Bata India, another name that I'm going to be tracking out. The structure is still intact. I think there could be strength coming in. Another intraday play. We've been discussing about Bata also. So this is going to be on my focus list. Next up is Star Health Insurance, Star Strides Pharma, right? So this is not a complete structure yet, but it has come out of a very big base. So this is one of those stocks which is not ready yet, but could move very shortly. So that is, something that I will keep on my radar. Now, apart from Lupin and Bata, until now, Apollo and Star are just second day movers, so they're not on my focus list, but Lupin Bata will be on my focus list. Another name is UBL. Brewery stocks recently have done well. We've seen Sula also do well. We've seen Som Distillery do well. We've seen Tilak Nagar Industries do well. So UBL, let's see if it breaks out of this contraction base. If it does, then it's going to be on my watch list. Again, this is one stock which is not ready yet, but could be moving in the next few days. So definitely on my radar. SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited, has been contracting nicely into this base, and that is why this is on my radar. I think this is high time where this could start breaking this base out. So again, not ready yet, but if this starts to move and if the entire metal sector starts to do well, this is a stock that you should not miss out on. SBI Life, again, similar story, similar name. Best performance month on month, year on year in terms of insurance. Premium increase numbers. So it has outperformed the peers in the monthly data that just came in. So fundamentally very sound as compared to all other life insurers. And this is the base that I'm going to be looking forward to trade. So again, not my A plus, but something that I could find because a lot of structures are overextended, right? People are going to chase a lot of stocks. And we obviously want to trade, at least me and my community members, we want to trade before the move happens, before the stock is visible to all the public. So SBI Life could be something that you should be, interested in. Now, ICICI Bank is not in my list, but I'm just trying to show you on how these large caps are breaking down of these, bases. So you can clearly see ICICI Bank breaking down from here. And if I show you Bank Nifty, you will understand what's the kind of weakness that banks are witnessing. So this is today's closing, daily candle. And if I look at it on the 5 minute, a very, very big move. So from the day high to the day low, we were down 1.5% or 670 points. So that tells you that, profit booking has started to come in and maybe new short positions have started to, be created in the market. Another example, another stock which is not in my watch list, but I just wanted to give you an example of this, which is Apollo tubes. So a typical trap, right? Typical liquidity trap over here. Lots of people getting trapped over here and, stopping them out. So never try to trade these names at obvious breakout areas without a base. So Apollo and ICICI Bank was just to tell you, what's happening in the overall market, like what exactly are you facing. Karur Vesa is in my list only to show you that how well this consolidation played out, and this stock has been doing extremely well, outperforming all banking names. The stock has broken a new high, shows a lot of strength, And maybe tomorrow on an intraday basis, if we start seeing an opportunity, I will definitely be interested in the stock. So that's Karur. So Rajesh Exports is probably one of the best stocks in the list today. Beaten down name, coming back near areas of demand, created nice little base, and now it's creating like a mini base within a base. And this is, today was up 7%. So impulsive move is done, but I think there could be a continuation. And hence, Rajesh Exports is definitely going to be on my list. Narana Hridyalaya only in the list because it is a healthcare stock, and I spoke to you that healthcare is very strong, and you see the strong action today as well. So maybe Narana Hridyalaya gets you an intraday opportunity tomorrow, but I feel it's just too extended. And whenever you see such extended names, try to stay away from it. A lot of the action is done. Party is over. Either don't trade them or just observe them. So Narayana Hrudyalaya now I think is getting into the extended category, and hence I'm ignoring this. Please remember, I sometimes add stocks into the list only to showcase something to you, right? Whether how stocks are reversing, or how maybe a base is getting formed, or how which particular sector stocks are doing what. So today ICICI was just to show you how weak are banks, right? How private banks are weak. So yeah, next up is Masdok. Interesting name. After a big rally, stock has, kind of consolidated into like a 7, 8 day narrow range. Would be interesting to see if this starts taking off from here. That is something that I'll be watching. Again, not an A plus. None of these, like apart from Lupin and Bata, and to some extent, I think Rajesh Exports, nothing is A plus until now. And this is, once I start seeing no A plus setups, I know that I have to size down, and I've just got to observe the market from the sidelines, because the market is going to trap a lot of people. And when Nifty starts falling, right? So when, at one point when Nifty starts to fall, that's the place where you will start seeing a lot of mid caps bleed very, very fast, right? So for those reasons, we are not, I'm not recommending you to aggressively go long on anything, right? Because I don't expect good follow through action from now. So right now, the action plan is going to be trade intraday. If the closing is nice, take it forward as a BTST, book, and then protect capital, stay cash. So this was Mazagon Dock, right? Sundaram Fasteners, again, one of the stocks that we had discussed coming out of this range. Another stock that could give a nice intraday move tomorrow. Nice, break happening in auto OEMs. So that is good. Kansai Nerolac, another stock in the list only just to show you how well this watchlist stock has played out. And right now, at this point, I think it's just overextended. I will not expect any further action from this, and I'll just remove this from the list. It was only to show you on how well these bases are playing out in the market. And right now, since you are, around these obvious breakout areas, this is where traps could come in, and this is where fake outs could start happening, because all the liquidity might be taken in by, the institutions. Next up, another interesting name that I see is Sumitomo Chemicals. So this is again a specialty chemical stock, nice U formed base that is being formulated. Although the stock has done poorly in the past, but I expect specialty chemical stocks to do really well based on what China is suffering from. So maybe there could be some interest in Sumitomo Chemicals. Again, not an A plus scene. TTK Prestige, similar story, similar name, right? So if you look at this, you've got this little decent base over here, and now the price is, the stock is trying to contract in a very tight range, looking for an expansion. So that is the reason this interests me. Again, left side is very bad. Not my favorite, but in the entire market, I could only find these things which could be tradable. So again, Hathaway, I'm waiting for this. Like, if this moves, this could be probably one of the best plays. We've seen what's happened with Suzlon, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. But I'll be waiting for an entry. Right now, there is no entry yet. There's nothing which triggers my entry in this, so I will just stay away from it right now. Lakshmi Machinery, another very interesting name. Move has already happened, but what I can see is that the stock is, slowly and steadily consolidating into this, hourly base over here, and maybe tomorrow we start seeing an expansion in this. Again, very low tight base. I don't really like to trade these, but as I said, after screening for like 2.5 hours, I could just find these stocks. So that also tells you that these stocks are okay. They're not really great, but they are something that you should be watching. But again, the markets are getting fragile, and the Dawat is something that I've already, covered. I've told you about. So more or less, these are the stocks that are going to be in my watch list. And trust me, there are not a lot of names which are very good. So in this list, I think Lupin, Bata, UBL to some extent, SBI Life to some extent, Rajesh Expo, and I think Sumitomo Chemicals, TTK Prestige. These are okayishly looking structures. In terms of strength, I think Healthcare, Apollo, Fortis, Rainbow, Narayana Hrudyalaya, all of these will still do well. And I've started seeing some pharma names like Lupin, for example, is already there in the list. Apart from that, even Granules is okay. Syngene is okay. So, there are a couple of names which are doing well, but very selected pockets. So you've got to be very, very careful. Now, before I wrap up, I'll just quickly show you what's happening with Nifty, the main benchmark index, right? So if you look at what's happening with Nifty, Nifty has finally come back, to these areas of supply now, right? So Nifty is at the tip of the iceberg, right? So this is where we could see we've got a V-shaped recovery, right? So we've got a V-shaped, nice V-shaped recovery. And now this is where I think we will, if not fall, but we will at least pause. And while the market pauses, Nifty has been into this range for a long period of time. I think this is where majority of stop losses can get triggered. So my stance is stay cash, play intraday, and only the strongest stocks. Otherwise, I think this is an observer's market right now. Protecting capital is more important. Staying cash could probably be the best trade, of the entire next week. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing if you like such content, and if you like this, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment if you have any feedback or any suggestions to give me. But I will again reiterate the fact tomorrow and the next entire week are going to be a test for the bulls, and I think we could see a bear comeback, maybe from the next Monday onwards. So please be very careful, trade safe, and have a great trading day tomorrow. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye bye.